Welcome to Module 3. In this module, we're going to be talking about some tools that you can use to build your MVP, right? We've talked about in previous modules how you're going to go from your idea to building your feature list to removing all the features you don't need from your MVP, and then building a workflow. And then now we're going to talk about matching those workflows to some tools. So I talked about a few, but here are some tools that we're going to focus on and different categories of tools to make your MVP a little bit smarter and run a little bit more smoothly. So first, we're going to talk about tools for data collection. Then we're going to talk about marketing communication tools, payments tools, and automation tools. So these 4 categories will help you fill the life cycle of your MVP. So first, let's talk about data collection. My 2 favorite tools for data collection are Google Sheets and Airtable. Google Sheets because you can create Google Forms and link them to Google Sheets and use that to collect information. It's super convenient because you can have it on your phone and you can go out into the real world and in real time, it's in the cloud. So no matter where you are, as long as you have an internet connection, you can use it. And it's completely free if you have a Gmail account. So that's even better. You can share and everybody can update the sheet, right? The next one is Airtable. Airtable is a super powerful data collection tool. Imagine it like Google Forms and Google Sheets on steroids. It actually works as a database. So if you need to link information, then Airtable works a little bit better than Google Sheets. So if you have a fairly complex process or ordering process where you need things to link up together, I would recommend Airtable over Google Sheets. The only caveat is that Airtable, though they have a free plan, there are some restrictions on what you can do on the free plan. So for example, you can't put your own logo unless you're paying for Airtable. All right, so kind of evaluate the 2 and see which one will work for you. All right, so for marketing and communication, do not underestimate the power of the tools you already have. Your phone, SMS, WhatsApp, and email. Those are super powerful tools. And as I showed you in the food delivery service, we just used WhatsApp and the phone to create that whole process that simulated something as complex as Jumia Food or Uber Eats in a very simple process. One thing that can make it a little bit smarter is MailChimp. So MailChimp is an email delivery software. And it's really super helpful because it has a lot of templates and a lot of beautiful things, and it helps make your MVP seem a little bit more polished because you can connect MailChimp to different services. So for example, you can say, hey, every time someone enters a form in my Google Sheet or in my Airtable, I need them to receive this email, right? So MailChimp is great, and it also lets you schedule emails. So let's say somebody signed up via email. You can send a reminder to them 2 days later to say, hey, you haven't done this thing or you need to do this thing. So it helps make it easier, and it's free, I think, for your first 2,000 emails. That might have changed at the time, but it was true at the time of this recording. It probably will always have a free tier, and as you grow, you'll have to pay. So those are my favorite marketing communication tools, right? Payments. I will say it right off the bat. I worked for Paystack. I love them, and I'm super biased. I have tried all the others, but Paystack is still my favorite. I've loved Paystack even before I started working there. And I love it because there are a lot of tools that they have that you can use, right? So they have payment pages, which means you don't have to have a website. You just give someone a link and they can pay. You can actually have invoices, so you can email people invoices and then they can pay. You can set a due date and they'll get a reminder. You can send reminders directly from the dashboards. There are sub-accounts. Let's say you want to split money between 2 accounts. All payments, maybe 20% needs to go to your vendors or 30% needs to go to your drivers. Then you can do that and don't have to worry about doing manual calculations. Then you can create products and sell them on your pages so people can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $1 million if they so desire. And it makes it really simple to set that up. Paystack is great if your business model is a subscription model because it takes away all the problems of like trying to figure out when people are due and when they're supposed to pay. You can just set up a page, create a subscription, people sign up on that page, and they'll be debited every month. They can go back on the platform to cancel, and you'll receive an email when they cancel, so you know to start providing them value. I just think it's brilliant. But again, I'm biased. The next thing is automation. Zapier is my favorite tool. There's very little you can't do with Zapier, and it just makes me so happy. So what is Zapier exactly? It's an automation tool that lets you create workflows and connect lots of different apps. So all the apps that I've talked about in so far, all the tools, can connect to Zapier. Google Sheets, Airtable, MailChimp, not yet phone and SMS, but you can simulate that using something like Twilio, but that's a bit complex for an MVP. So basically the way Zapier works is you get a trigger and then an action can happen. So in the example here, like whenever I get a new email in Gmail, copy the attachment from Gmail to Dropbox and then send me a Slack message. Like, it's so simple, right? And it's basically a drag and drop interface, and it's super easy to build a workflow using this. So you can automate some of the stuff that you have to do using Zapier. Now, those are all the tools that we're going to talk about today. They're very, very powerful. They can do a lot of work, but they can't do everything. If they could, you wouldn't even need to build your end product. So working with the tools and exploring them will give you an idea of what they can do. I've kind of touched on it, but I haven't gone through every single thing that you can do with something like Zapier or Airtable, for example. Explore the tools and look for what you can do with them so that when you're building your MVP, when you're trying to figure out what tools will match, you know exactly what they're capable of.